Okay, so once again, picking up right where we left off in the previous video, we had applied a new routine to the burger so as that when you click on the bun that's sitting on the cutting board, that if their variable, the occupied slot variable, if that number matches, then when you click on the bun, all the corresponding pieces will eventually move. Currently, that functionality is only applied to the hamburger. Now we want to apply it to the other pieces as well. So we're going to create a new script. We could take the scripts that we have and modify them and check for name, but this one's got kind of a lot of moving pieces to it, no pun intended. So let's just go ahead and create a new script. It'd be a little bit cleaner. And this will be called, so that other one's called move sandwich, but we really can't use it, again, without adding a lot of code to check for object name. So we'll just call this move toppings. So we're going to take the bun bottom, apply move toppings to it, and pretty much copy and paste. So let's go ahead and open that up. Move toppings is going to need the two variables checking for cook time. Actually, nope, doesn't need cooking time, sorry. It just needs occupied slot. Let's put that in. And we don't want it to be set to the same as the other ones to begin with because we saw what happens. So it needs the occupied slot. And then basically just if the occupied slot number is matching, okay, so if occupied slot is equal to the selected sandwich, so selected sandwich, that gets its value when you click on one. So if this number is equal to the one that's being clicked on, so now at the start it needs to get its initial value, so we need to borrow that from the move sandwich script. So as you can see, we're kind of combining the functionality of this because move sandwich has this, which occurs when it gets instantiated, but it also has to have the being controlled by the mouse when the corresponding selected sandwich is being moved. So we have the start, we need this. And let's see if this is almost done. So we've got the occupied slot. We have that being given its value, and this gets set when the bin is being clicked on, so we shouldn't have to do anything else to get it transferred in, and then it should move. So I think this is just about right. We're just moving it further vertically away, and I think just like that it should now work on the bun as well, the bottom bun that is. So we click on the bun, click on the hamburger, we'll let it cook. Click on it, we click on the bun on top, and sure enough. So like I said, we really didn't introduce a new concept this time. All we really did was apply, we basically combined functionality from two other scripts into a new script. And that's what we're going to have to do basically for the remaining components. But now you've got a hamburger that you can give to someone. So let's continue on with that a little bit more. I'm not going to do the other ingredients yet because basically we'll do a couple more, but once you get the hang of it, then it's just adding as many ingredients you want. You want to add pickles, you want to add lettuce, you want to add mayonnaise. Once you get this functionality done, it's just rinse and repeat. So let's take our first customer, drag and drop them in. Don't quite fit in the screen. There's a couple of things we could do. We could either shrink them, we could vertically shrink the tabletop a little bit. Let's see how that would look. Let's drop that down to like 2.6. Yeah, I think that would do. And the other thing you can do is if you find that you drew the image too big, you can always scale them down. Like it defaults to 1.1, you could turn it to 0.9, or you can just click on the image at the bottom here and change the pixels per unit. If I haven't mentioned it before, I think I did. The smaller the number, the bigger the picture. So to shrink this image, you'd have to make the number bigger. Let's do it just a little bit, just so you have a refresher. And again, this is being done by clicking on the image at the bottom. We'll get rid of generate maps because it won't compress it if we don't do that. And we'll just shrink. This actually, this really doesn't do much. Basically, you're just saying what is the nearest size to this resolution. As you can see, it's 300 by 300. So the next one would be too small, and it would make it pixelated. So we'll apply that, and as you can see, got a little bit smaller. So we'll move her down a little bit. And that's it. We won't mess around with that anymore. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give them add component, physics 2D, polygon collider, trigger. Now what we're going to do is we need to be able to drag and drop that sandwich onto the customer. I've seen it done different ways. You could maybe have a plate in front of them, put it on the plate, or just kind of drag and drop it onto them. Whatever. 6 one way, 1/2 dozen the other. The functionality isn't going to be different. So let's... And this doesn't show what they're asking for yet, so that will probably be a separate video into itself. This is just completing the path of selecting a bun, cooking the meat, moving the meat to the bun, and then grabbing the bun, the completed sandwich, and giving it to the customer. At that point, your cycle will basically complete. At that point, it's pretty much just rinse and repeat. So, to do this, let's go ahead and in the gameplay script, since that's really our GM script, we're going to put in the key code, which will allow for the checking of the right click, the right mouse button being clicked. So, in our gameplay script, we'll add public key code, and we'll call it give food. Save it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take gameplay. Let's go ahead and attach it to the counter. At first we were only using it for the static variables, but now I want it to actually check for a code as well. So I'll just drop it on the dyna counter, and we'll use the dyna counter like it's a GM object. So you gotta scroll way down. It's gonna be mouse 1 because mouse 0 is the left click. So mouse 1. So now it's checking to see if mouse 1 is clicked. If so, if input dot get key down, because we only want a single click, and it's called give food. If that happens, then we want something else to happen. We want let's set a new variable. So public static, because we want the other scripts and objects to be able to access this. So public static, and call it delete food. So give food, delete food. And let's set that to, oops, string, sorry. So public static string delete food, and it starts off as no. So when you right click, we're simply going to say delete food equals Y for yes. So now we just need to have the other components react to that. So we want delete food is set to yes, so we want something to happen. So I don't think we've done anything that indicates that food is in motion, that you're moving it around the screen. So that's probably the final thing that we have to do, is we have to indicate that food is in motion. So we track mouse controlled, but only on the bun. We don't do it on the other ones, so let's use that. Even though we're repurposing, this is saying to it's saying to move the food base because of the mouse, whereas the other ones are not using that variable. It's using this, but it's still tracking that it's being mouse moved. So let's do that. So in cook food, what we'll do is we'll create a new variable, public string mouse controlled. Doesn't have to be spelled the same because it's a separate variable, but like I said, I like, for consistency's sake, I want to know what the variable does. So in here, mouse controlled will be set to yes. And then we'll go to the move toppings, same thing. Public string mouse controlled equals n, and once it starts getting moved, mouse controlled will be set to yes. So why did I do that? So now we have a very easy way of identifying which objects should be deleted. So if you right click, then you want to delete whatever is being moved. So what's being moved? Whatever is set to mouse control yes. So that easy. And that's really the reason why I use exactly the same one, so I can I don't have to rethink and rewrite it. Well, I have to rewrite it for each one, but at least I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It'll be the same code. So in short, in the update section, if gameplay dot delete food equals y, then we want something to happen. Well, if delete food equals y, and actually we want to check something else in here. So if delete food is equal to y, and mouse controlled equals y, then destroy game object. And now we just copy and paste that to the other scripts that do the same thing. So cook food, the update section, and then move toppings in the update section. Alright, so the only problem with this, so we right click and delete food gets set to yes. Well, we really don't want to delete the food if we're here or here. We only want it to delete it here. So we need a second condition, and that we need to be seeing if the mouse is overlapping this. Well, for now, let's keep it like this and have it just delete when we click. One step at a time. I don't want to make it too complicated. Okay, so the other ones did not delete. Did I not save? I did not save, that's all. So procedurally, nothing wrong, just didn't save. So click, 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 click. Perfect. So the last thing is we want to make sure that we're handing it to them. Alright, so I think that's it for this video. Kind of a lot of talking, not a lot of coding, but now we're really, really close to where we want to be.